So we left off on talking about claims, right? How you make an argument. You need a claim, you need evidence, and you need the warrant. The warrant is really the reasoning, whether you're doing inductive reasoning or deductive reasoning. And we're going to talk about that later, but not today in this video. Actually, what we're going to talk about is continuing to talk about what the claim is. I'm going to share the screen in a minute, talking about that, and what types of evidence you need. And then we're going to talk about how do you write those arguments. And I'm actually going to have the class engage on the discussion board in a little mini debate with a topic that you can use, you can research for. I'm more interested in what kind of arguments you come up with. It's a topic, actually, I think that everyone could respond to in some way. I have divided up the class between last names. So I've either put you, like, you're either for that topic, you're arguing that topic, or you're arguing against it, okay? So it'll make more sense when I bring that assignment up. But now let's move back to where we were, and I'll share the screen and talking about claims, because I want you to be really clear on what that, there we go, no, there we go, what the different claims are. So claimant is an assertion of some sort, okay? A claimant is an assertion, and it's always asking, what are you asserting? What are you trying to prove? Okay, and when we talk about fact claims, there are three different kinds of claims. There's fact claim, there's value claim, and there's policy claim, okay? Fact claim is something that can be proven, either true or false. Either it is or it's not, okay? Either it is or it's not. A value claim is something you claim is either good or bad. It's about morality. It's about someone's morals. Either you believe it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. Okay, and a policy claim is where you actually recommend a specific course of action. It's usually related to, like, this is how laws get made. They make an argument around a policy claim, right? That this policy is going to change certain things, is going to improve lives, etc. So the evidence, you guys already know about this. This is your supporting materials. This is the meat and potatoes of your speech. This is the stuff that proves, you know, the proof. Let's go back to that speech of the young woman at the United Nations, that first speech you saw. Think of all the evidence she brought to prove her point, to back up what she was saying. She talked about the salmon, they have cancer, right? She can't fish in the normal place she used to fish. She talked about, she talked about so many things, different kinds of pollution. She talked about who caused the pollution, right? And she talked about things that were real, they were facts, okay? So the evidence is how you're going to support your claim. Now, you can use different kinds of evidence. You can use examples, you can use narratives, you can use testimony, you can use, again, something that can be proven. And you can use statistics. Okay? All those things helped to back up what you were claiming, what assertion you're making. So just think of the evidence, just like supporting materials. You're going to need them. Okay, your warrant is that the way you connect your claim to your evidence. Okay, are you doing it deductively or inductively? And deductively, I'll just give you like a little mini view into it, okay? So deductive is, if you all remember syllogisms, which that may totally throw you off. So let's just go with this. Deductive is when you go from, general to specific. So you make a generalization about a specific thing. Out of a generalization comes a specific incident, okay? And I have to give you the syllogism that's an example of deductive reasoning, okay? All men are mortal. This is a famous one. All men are mortal. Socrates is a man. Therefore, what do you know, right? Socrates is mortal. So notice how it starts with this kind of an expansive idea. All men are mortal, a broad idea. And then in the claim, it comes up with, pulls from that an example, a specific example of that claim, right? All dogs hail from wolves, okay? All dogs hail. So all dogs, all the ancestors of dogs are wolves. That's not a good one. That's a bad one. All dogs' ancestors come from are wolves, okay? I don't know, some dogs. My dog, Cisco, is a dog. Cisco hailed from wolves, okay? So it's, again, that broad idea, and then pulling smaller, you reason from that, because it's called deductive reasoning, these specific ideas from that broad idea. Don't get caught up in that. I just want to give you an idea of what that looks like. Now, inductive reasoning is when you go from specific to broad. I have to always think about this. So you have a specific idea and you make a larger generalization. Now, that can be kind of tricky. You can get into fallacies with that, but you don't necessarily have to. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. I need to pause. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm coming back now. We're going to continue recording. So let's go back to this screen. So that line of reasoning, you're either using inductive or deductive. Oftentimes, inductive reasoning is usually analogy. I want to go to what I'm going to put on discussion board. Okay, so I'm going to divide the class up by last names. A through K is going to argue the affirmative. L through Z is going to argue the negative. The affirmative is always arguing, is going to argue God exists. Okay? We're not even going to get into argumentation right now. It's going to even confuse you further. So if you're on the affirmative, you're going to argue that God exists. It means you're going to have to come up with examples or statistics or facts or testimony or something to provide proof that God exists. Okay? That's going to be your job. If you're L through Z, your job is to argue that God does not exist. Okay, what I'd like y'all to think about is to think about how you define God first. Okay. Okay. So an argument, each of your arguments, you're going to make an assertion, and then you're going to back up that assertion, your claim, with evidence. Your work is going to come up with 2 claims of fact, right? We already established what claim of fact is, and 2 claims of value. And each claim should have that supporting evidence. And here's the other thing is, I want you to remember that, or I want you to keep in mind, not remember, I want you to keep in mind that it doesn't matter what you personally think. This is not an activity about your personal feelings. This is an activity about you making an argument. And I chose this because everyone has an opinion about this, right? Everyone has a feeling about whether there is a God or not a God. So we can all weigh in on this. You can pull, and that's in our culture. We talk about these things. So this isn't like a religious activity. It's not about that. We're just making an argument. That's it. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you believe or don't believe. In fact, if you believe that God exists and you're arguing in the negative, this will be a good activity for you because it's going to expand your awareness about things. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So by Sunday, April 26th at 5 p.m., your job before this time, okay, next Sunday, your job is to send me your 4 claims, okay, 4, right? 2 that are claims of fact and 2 that are claims of value, right? According to whatever side you're on. You're either arguing God exists or God doesn't exist. Okay. Once you submitted it, so if let's say you submit it to me tomorrow, okay? You submit it tomorrow, then you can go to the discussion board and you're going to put on the discussion board one of your claims. Not all 4, just 1. Okay. Once you've done that, your job is to put 1 claim on, and then your job is to respond argumentatively to the other side. Okay, to the claim that someone's made on the other side. Not to the people on your side. If you're L through Z, you're not going to respond to anyone with that last name because they're supposed to be arguing the negative. God doesn't exist. You're going to respond to someone on the other side. Okay. So I'm giving you an example here. So let's just say you write, you're on the negative, okay, and you write, God does not exist because God does not exist because the word existence refers to something seen and tangible. At the very least, one that has existed has left evidence of its physical existence. Okay, let's just say that I'm on that side and I just made that argument. A response by the affirmative might be, this is again an example, the nature of God is that God exists because we believe God does. We do not have to prove God exists because that is what faith is for. Okay, I think this is going to be a very interesting debate, actually, right? Debate isn't always about winning. Sometimes it's about opening our mind and seeing things from other sides. Okay. So the key is for you to offer up your claim and then refute the other side. You can refute that by giving other evidence, right? Providing other evidence to the contrary of what they're saying, or by pointing out the flaws in their argument, if their argument doesn't make sense. You can also ask questions. If you want to ask someone a question and you need clarification, you can do that too. Again, remember, this isn't about your personal opinion. This is a graded activity. You're going to be graded on giving me those 4 claims correctly, which is basically an assertion, providing evidence. You're going to make a statement and back it up with evidence, okay? And the evidence can come in all those forms that I've already just gone over. And I want this done before next Sunday, April 26th. And I'm going to stop there. And so I'm going to leave this on Canvas, and you all can let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next class time. Take care and have a beautiful day. See you later.